The biggest shift happening in crypto right now isn't on the price charts. It's happening in Washington, D.C., the quantum computing labs, and within the companies that are building out the new infrastructure of the new financial system. In this video, we're going to talk about some recent announcements that the Canton network has received an ETF, the first one in the United States. We also have Algorand going live with X402. Then we have Internet Computer teaming up with WordPress. WordPress holds over 40% of the world's websites. This is a massive news story. We're going to jump into it. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. I'm pretty pumped about this one. And on the back end, we're going to talk about the Clarity Act. There's some recent announcements we just need to be aware of. We'll touch on that as well on the back end. But let's go ahead and get into this first story. It comes from BSCN on May 7th, 2026, and it is the Canton Network ETF. Check this out, guys. We have first Canton Network ETF goes live in the US. 21 shares launched TCAN on NASDAQ on Thursday, the first US ETF offering direct exposure to the Canton coin, the native token of the Canton Network, of course. Teucrium Investment Advisor serves as advisor. 21 shares US as sub-advisor, with BitGo as custodian. The fund is the US counterpart to the European Canton ETP that 21 shares launched in November of 2025. So the Canton network is getting its first US ETF, even though Europe has had one since November of 2025. But this is an exciting step forward for anybody that is following the Canton network or holds the Canton coin. We are starting to see them build more and more momentum as 2026 progresses. Keep your eye on the Canton network, do your research on it. We'll see how this unfolds, but this is a great start. Just as we saw with XRP, 21 shares and all these other smaller institutions were kind of rolling out ETFs before the larger ones stepped in. We will see if that happens with the Canton network this year or the years to come, but this is a great step forward for that network. But now let's look into the next story here. But before we do, I did put out a poll for you guys on YouTube. Just so you guys know, I do actually read these polls and read these feedbacks, because this gives me an understanding of what people are seeing in the market and how they kind of give a perspective for crypto from their point of view. So let me show you this post here, guys. And it says, which crypto system do you think institutions will ultimately build on the most? Out of 159 votes, we have the XRP ledger coming in at 72%, Bitcoin at 2%, Ethereum 8%, and interoperability being 18%. So out of 159 votes so far, the XRP ledger takes it. If you're a fan of XRP, give me a shout out down below. Now let's move into the next one, guys. This is going to come from the Internet Computer, and it comes out on May 7th, 2026 as well. And this has to do with the WordPress story. Big announcement here. Let's go ahead and get into it, and we'll talk about it after this announcement. Check it out here with me. We have WordPress now runs 100% on-chain, powered entirely by canisters on ICP. No external database, no off-chain cache, no proxies or VPS. Big thanks to Wasp Technology team for making this happen. And as you can see down here from Definity Foundation from May 5th, WordPress now runs on the Internet Computer thanks to the Wasp Technology team. This includes, and it shows the breakdown of this WordPress now runs on the Internet Computer. So this is a big story coming out. So why is that a big story? So this is a big story because WordPress, for people that don't know, they actually process and run over 40% of the internet websites, etc. Massive players use WordPress, and now they are going live on Internet Computer ICP. Very key distinction here to understand. It does not mean that all of their 40% of the websites are going to ICP right away. That's not happening like that. They are now just offering the ability to build, so developers can now build on ICP with WordPress. This is a big partnership, and I think it's at its infinite stage. We're still trying to develop this and grow this, but if this does grow and scale as we are expecting it to, the next 5 to 10 years can be very exciting for Internet Computer ICP. Again, just something to keep your eyes on. We'll see what happens with it. But let's move on to the next one. This one comes up from Watcher Guru, and I'm putting this out there just so if you are new to the crypto realm, or maybe you've been around for a while, you just haven't experienced the problems with exchanges yet. Check this out. News story coming out on May 8th, 2026. Watcher Guru, check it out with me here. It says, just in, Coinbase crypto trading remains down for over 5 hours out as outages continues. So Coinbase has an outage. There's some speculation behind it because they just recently announced a 14% layoff across their company. And this comes back on the heels of a very negative Q1 reporting. They were down, I forget the exact numbers, but it was millions that they were down. So they lay off 14% of their staff. They say it's due because of AI integration. They just don't need the staff anymore, which we are seeing across the board with many companies, not just in the crypto space, but companies around the world are doing the same thing. But then we see the outages and we get shut down for 5 hours. This is a big problem for the crypto space, especially for the people that want to hold their own assets. If your exchange is down, you can't access your crypto. You can't change it, you can't sell it, you can't do anything with it. That's why it's super important to have a cold wallet or a cold storage. And if you're in the market for one, you can use my link here. It's just simply DC10. You can get it at Tangem. Tangem is a fantastic wallet, super simple setup, easy to use. If you're in the market, use that DC10. If you're not, no worries, just if you're in the market for one. Now let's get on to this next story, which is going to be the Algorand X402 story. We've covered X402 and Algorand in the past, but we have new announcements coming out about this. I want to make sure you're aware of if you are an Algorand fan. So check this one out. This is going to come from Stacy Warren. She is the CEO of Algorand Foundation. Check out this post she has on LinkedIn, and we're going to talk about it here in a second. So I'm going to skip the first part here. We're going to go down to here. It says X402, the open payment standard, is the first real attempt to address this at the protocol level. Programs can now pay for things directly with no accounts, no minimums, and no permissions required. It is exactly what we need for the coming wave of agentic exchange, which is why Algorand Foundation has made sure our layer 1 is part of this standard. If you are building in the agentic commerce space, Algorand's infrastructure is ready for you. Come build with us. And this is from the Algorand Foundation. It kind of gives you an update. It says Algorand is now officially supported on X402, the open payment standard built for apps, services, and AI agents that need to transact programmatically. Atomic transaction groups, sponsored transactions, as well as full client server and facilitator capabilities are all live. Everything you need to get started. And of course, all these links are down here to get started. So Algorand is not only X402 compatible, they can operate with X402 for agentic payments. They are also quantum resistant, as we saw through Google's research paper announcing that Algorand was highly quantum resistant. This is a big project. I know Algorand for some people kind of died off, but through their transition to 2026, they have made some massive announcements. So if you're new to Algorand, I highly suggest you check them out. I'm not saying go buy it. I'm just saying go do your own research. While we're talking about research, all of my research is actually down in my description under source. Everything that you see on my screen, you can find down there as well. Now let's move into what we're talking about agentic payments, X402. These are all things for machines to talk to each other and process and do things autonomously without human connection. This is how the future is going to work. Everything's going to be able to work and communicate without humans interacting. We set it up and the system does the rest. But a key piece of that is how machines talk to other machines, and we need to make sure these are secure communications and secure networks. This is where Sealcoin is coming in. If you've been following this channel for quite some time, we've talked about Sealcoin off and on. But let me get to the story here and show you what we're talking about, then we'll talk about it here in a second. This comes out from Sealcoin on X on May 7th, 2026. They explain the necessity of something like Sealcoin. So check this out. It says AI agents are booking, paying, and coordinating autonomously. But X402, USDC rails, and open source protocols only solve the software layer. The missing piece, hardware-rooted identity. Without it, any machine can impersonate any other. Sealcoin anchors machine-to-machine trust in certified semiconductors post-quantum PKI before the transaction ever hits the chain. So Sealcoin is on a whole other level. If you haven't done any kind of research on Sealcoin, again, I would highly suggest that you do so. They are going to bring that next layer for machine-to-machine payments. They are incredibly an advanced company. It's really exciting to see what they're doing. As we're talking about the excitement of this stuff, I know a lot of people follow crypto for the price to get rich quick. I would suggest you guys really understand the technology and what it's doing and how it's transforming the future. Because when you see the power that's coming and the abilities that are coming, it's pretty exciting just knowing that stuff. But when you understand what it's truly doing, you understand why you should invest in this kind of project or these kind of assets, right? So we're going to move on to Stablecoins token, which is called Quate. But it's important to understand Quate is not coming out quite yet, but it's on the way. But let's talk about that here in just in a second. Before we do, guys, I need your help. I need your support. If you can, please hit that like button. If you like anything in this video so far, leaving a comment, a simple thumbs up goes a long way. And if you like this kind of reporting where it's just some facts, no hype or hopium, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We would love to have you part of the channel. And let me show you what I'm talking about and why I need that support. This video right here is a video I made the other day. And as you look at it here, so far, at the time I took the snip, it's 453 views, 82 likes, and 12 comments. And you can see my rankings by view is 5 out of 10 videos. Impressions through click rate is 12.2%, and the average view duration is 6.02 minutes. So even right here, YouTube's saying, hey, great job. People choose your to watch this video more than the usual videos they choose to watch. What I'm trying to show you here as I'm stumbling through that is even with these metrics in this creator world of YouTube, these metrics are very important. View duration and click-through is very important. Even with a high duration of view and click-through rate, that video is still sitting at the time I just looked, was like 500 views. So these videos definitely aren't getting out, even with 82 likes. That's a great number as well. These videos simply just aren't going anywhere. So if you guys could just hit that button, that like button, share all those things that YouTube does, that would be very much appreciated so these videos can start getting out to people. Now let's get off that and get into the Quate token. I'm not going to drive too much into it, but I just want to put this on your radar. Again, I'm just trying to help out here. So check out Stablecoin. This is their Quate token. Check out the screen here. We'll kind of walk through it briefly. So it's Quate, and again, I'll leave this down in my video description as well. So this Quate is their token, and what's important to understand about the Quate token is it is the native utility and payment token for Stablecoin ecosystem. It enables secure autonomous transactions between IoT devices and AI agents while anchoring governance and identity frameworks through a proof of security POS mechanism. What's important is this timeline, this rollout here, as you can see from 2024 all the way down to where we're at now, which is the Q2 2026. And then right here we have the platform release tied to Stablecoin Quate token issuance, Quate listing on tier 1 regulated crypto exchanges. So we do see the Quate token to be coming out some point in Q2 2026, which is happening now. We'll see what happens with this. But this is definitely something to keep your eye on just in case you're interested in a new project or something exciting that's coming up. Something I've been waiting for is this Quate token. I'm excited for it. As soon as it goes live, guys, I'll let you know as well, because I'm going to do a dive into that one. That's going to be a fun one. But let's move into the back half of the video. As I said, was going to be the Clarity Act. I'm going to touch on this stuff kind of briefly here. And again, as we look at the Clarity Act, please understand, just because it gets signed, there is going to be hype. There's going to be hopium. The market will change, and there's going to be a lot of exciting pumps. Just don't get lost in that euphoria if and when that does happen. And also keep in mind that just because they're saying that this could be signed doesn't mean it's going to. So as I go through these news stories, just please keep that in mind here. I'm going to run through the 3 next ones here kind of quick. So check it out here. Crypto Rover says latest, the Senate Banking Committee is set to notice a markup for the Clarity Act today. This is May 8th, 2026 when this came out, with a potential Thursday vote. Then from Eleanor Tourette, she was responding to a person that asked a question, but she gives you more clarity on this. It says that the earliest is today. The latest is likely Monday if leadership wants to tee up a Thursday vote, since they usually need to provide at least 3 business days notice before a hearing. And then here from Punchbowl News, it says Vault House lawmakers are eyeing a narrow rework of the Senate housing bill, with talks focused on build-to-rent rules and tougher CBDC limits, but there's still no bipartisan deal. So over the next few days, through the weekend, through next week, you're going to see a lot of hype and talk about the Clarity Act. Now, are they going to sign it on, is it going to pass through on Friday, the day I'm making this video? We'll see. I mean, I doubt it personally. I think we're going to get through the weekend because there's a lot of stuff that's happening geopolitically out in the Middle East. If you've been following that, there's still some things that I think are still unsettled. We'll see what happens. We'll see what Monday brings. But as we go through Monday and people are looking at Monday for the day of the Clarity Act to be marked up, Also keep in mind, May 11th, we have the new Fed chair potentially getting brought in as the new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh. So this kind of lines up perfectly. We'll see what happens with it. Just don't get too excited, because just because it gets marked up doesn't mean it's going to get signed, because we're still looking for July to get it signed if and when it does get pushed through. We'll see what happens with that. Just keep your eye on it. Don't get lost in all the excitement and FOMO that people are going to create around it. Does that make sense? That's all I have for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed the information. If you did, again, guys, please hit that like button, leave a comment, simple thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you like this kind of information. Before I let you guys go, though, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and become that change that you want to see. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one.